Hello and welcome back. We're going to continue to work on our Unit 4 one-point perspective room drawing. Today we're focusing on Lesson 4.07. This is going to be all about adding a door and a window to our composition. So we're going to start by opening up our file in our program. We're then going to draw our door and window, and we'll do some cleanup and erasing along the way. When we're done with our drawing and erasing, we will then go ahead and save our project. We'll take a screenshot and we'll get that screenshot ready to submit for our progress sketchbook. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. So I'll get out to my desktop. I'm going to open up my File Explorer. I'm going to find my digital art folder. It should be in Documents, Digital Art. And then I'm going to find my project folder. So Paint One Point Perspective Room. I'll open that up. I'm going to find my file and I'm going to double click and that will open up in the program Paint. All right, this looks like where we left off. So we're going to go ahead and start by drawing a door first. So you need to determine, remember we're working on the outside of our composition and we're drawing in. So we want to determine where we want a door. We're not drawing anything on our back wall, so that leaves my left side wall and my right side wall. Now, a door can turn into lots of different things later on. This can be an open door. This can just be a doorway into another space. This could be a door into stairs, lots of different things. So we're just going to start by drawing a very basic door. So to do that, I'm going to grab my line tool. I'm going to click here and I'm going to make sure that that line tool is a solid outline. And I'm going to make sure that it is 1 pixel wide. I'm then going to come down here to the bottom. We're going to put our door over here on the left side of the composition. So I'm going to come down here to the very bottom where the wall meets the floor. Now, some people make a very common mistake and they think that this line is the top of the bottom of the wall, but it's actually the top of the baseboard. So we need to go down a little further. So this line right here is my floor line. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to draw a perfectly straight line up. If we wanted the door to be super, super tall, that would look awkward, or super, super short, maybe you're drawing a dog door or an elf door or something small and tiny. I'm going to go somewhere here in the middle as an average normal size kind of door for this space. Okay, after I have that left side of the door drawn perfectly vertical, I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw the right side of the door. Now, I don't know if this is a double door, you decide how wide you want this door to be. I'm going to start it right here somewhere, and I'm going to draw a line straight up. Okay, again, I don't know exactly how tall yet, so I'm just going to draw that line. Now, I'm going to draw the top of the door. The top of the door starts at the vanishing point and goes over and hits the top of that first line on the left side. All right, I've got some cleanup to do, so we can start with that. So I'm going to zoom in. Click with the magnifying glass, gets me right where I need to be. Grab my eraser tool, and I'm going to erase the lines beyond the door. Whoops, too close, Control Z. Do that carefully. And to the right of the door. And going back to the vanishing point, be careful not to erase your wall line. So I'm going to go on either side of it carefully and then over. All right, let me zoom back out. And I can certainly erase more of this line. Going back to the vanishing point, you can start to see how that vanishing point is getting really messy, which is totally fine. And now I also want to come in and erase, scroll over, to the bottom of my door. I don't need the baseboard in the door line. So I'm going to erase this line here. And now I have a nice opening. Okay. To add some detail to this, we're going to go ahead and add some trim to our door. So I'm going back to my line tool. I'm going to come into the inside of my door and I'm going to draw the left line of the trim. I'm going to go to the right side of the door and draw the right side of trim. I'm going to start at the vanishing point and I'm going to draw a line on top for the trim at the top of the door. Again, those lines are a little bit extended, so I'm going to grab my magnifying glass and I'm going to zoom into the top of my door, grab my eraser tool, and I'm going to just simply clean up and erase those lines in the trim. I want to be careful in the trim on the outside of the door, traveling back towards that vanishing point, and once again, on either side of the wall, I can slide over while I'm zoomed in and clean up that line here. All right, let me zoom back out. Looking pretty good. I've got a door on the left side of my composition. You can certainly go in and grab like the brush tool, make that brush a little bit bigger. And if you want to, click one time and add a doorknob to your door. That's something kind of fun you can do if you like. Okay, we'll talk about what other things you can do with doors at another session. But we're going to go ahead and put a window in. Now, windows are also really cool because they can also be picture frames. They can be turned into flat screen TVs. They have lots of versatility as well. But a basic window is pretty much the same as a door. We're going to start by drawing the left or the right side on this because I'm going to put my window on the right wall. So I'm going to start by drawing the right side of the window. Think about placement. I want a nice big window here. I'm going to draw from the vanishing point to the top of the window. Click off of that to set the line from the vanishing point to the bottom of that window. That looks pretty good. And then I need to draw the left side. Now, because we're on the right wall, the left side of the window will be perfectly straight. They're going to run parallel. Okay, so the two sides of the window will be parallel to one another. All right, after we've drawn the outside of that, we can go ahead and draw some trim or we can clean up. You kind of decide. The door I cleaned up along the way. This one I'm going to clean up at the end. So we're going to draw the right side trim perfectly straight. We're going to draw from the vanishing point to the top of that right side trim, from the vanishing point to the bottom of that right side trim. Perfect. And then I'm going to come in and put the left side trim perfectly vertical, holding that shift button. Now I have my window. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in again. We'll scroll over to that window, go in a little more. Make your life easy when you're erasing. Grab that eraser tool, and I'm just going to come in and click on any of these lines that are overextended. Every single pixel counts. Do not leave any gaps or spaces. I did a nice job of connecting those lines there. A little bit of an extension at the top on this side. There, and go carefully inside that trim. If you are looking and your eraser tool is too big or too small, you can always adjust the size of that eraser tool by sliding the box on the left side there. All right, and then I'm going to clean up my erasers. That's a little funky there. I have like a gray line, which is interesting. I'm not sure where that came from. I'm going to have to look into that. But I do want to clean up this going back to the vanishing point on this side. Everything I drew should be in black only, so that little gray strip has got me bugged a little bit, so I'll have to check out what's going on. Control Z. And then don't forget this little bit inside the trim, inside the TV or the, I'm sorry, window. This could be the first steps of a flat screen TV though. Who knows, maybe I'll turn my window into a TV. All right, I'm going to zoom out. Wow, look at that. I've got a beautiful door on the left side and a great window there on the right side. If you wanted to put some lines, some detail lines inside your window, maybe a cross piece or a center sash, you could do something like that. And then if you wanted the middle, you would do a perfectly vertical line and then just zoom in and clean up those lines beyond the window, going back to the vanishing point again. Something lovely like that. And clean up a little bit more of this too. All right, let me zoom back out. Lovely, there we go. So at this point, you're done with your door and your window. We want to make sure that you don't lose any progress. Oh, wait a second here. Right there, looking at my window, there's a missing pixel. So I'm going to grab my pencil tool here, and I'm going to put in a couple of pixels right there. Those look a little high. Like that, because we know every pixel counts. and that would cause me problems later down the line. Now I think I'm done drawing, and I think it is time to save our project. So I'm going to hit File, Save. That saves our project, and then we're going to take a quick screenshot of our progress. So Windows Shift S, let me grab a screenshot of our progress there. Fabulous. It's going to open up in our snipping tool. I'm going to hit the Save button, and I'm going to save this in my digital art folder. So I'm going to go to Documents, 1 point digital art, and screenshots. There it is. This is lesson 4.07, and we just did a door and window. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Save. Now I have my screenshot that I can easily insert into my progress sketchbook. All right, if you have any questions or concerns about this step of the project, please reach out and let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the process.